Hello and welcome back, episode 170. We're going to do health loss and stealing health. So this is going to be like the permanent health loss. As player take damage, they lose max health, so they can never really regain any. And then we're going to give them an item to get the health back, and also make it so when a player dies, they drop their max health. So if you died from a full damage and lost all your health at once, they'll drop an item that contains a lot of health. If you're fighting with them, and you knock them down one heart at a time, they're going to drop an apple that's not going to contain much health at all. So it's going to encourage you to trap people, make them fall, blow them up with explosions, etc. Let's create the objectives, and we have got quite a few. I should say thank you to Gal Sergi for this. I was banging my head against the wall for a while, just overcomplicating things, and they came along and just said, you want to do it a bit more like this, which they wrote off the top of their head and made everything exactly correct. So, big thank you there. Objectives. Add. Okay, our first objective. We want to track, we'll call it damage.take. We want to track when the player takes damage, which I believe is a custom damage taken. So we'll track when they take damage. Let's copy all that. Copy. And pop it in here. We're also going to track, have they used an apple? We'll call it used.apple, and it would be of type used.apple. Done. Let's get one of them. Control middle mouse, put it down. We are also going to track their health, which will just be health. And now we're going to make up some of our own, some dummies. We're going to track health.copy, and this is just going to be a dummy, and we'll also have a health.add, also a dummy, and we want to know if they've got an apple. So let's say has apple. That's going to be a 0 or 1, a boolean. Do they have the apple? Don't they have the apple? That's going to be a dummy. And I also want to track when they die, so we know when the player should drop the apple. So death will be the death count. Done. And that's the objectives. We've got a lot of them. Phew, the controller. Okay, we're probably going to be taking a cut or two in this, because when we're playing with the player's max health attribute, or any of their attributes, I think, we're going to have to say if score equals 1, then set attribute to 1. If score equals 2, set to 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So we're going to need 20 commands just to check all the health levels, and we're going to have to do that twice. So you don't want to watch me type all of those commands, so I'll type the first one, and then we'll take a cut as I make the other 20, because they're all identical. I'll show you the difference. They're just a different number. That's it, really. So this is going to be our controller. And it has a lever. We need redstone because I use a lever. Repeat. Done. Okay. First thing we'll deal with is dropping the apple. We can do a test after that. So, has the player died? Execute. At any player scores equals death equals 1 or higher. Okay, so has the player died? If they have, we will run summon an item at their coordinates, because we're executing at that player. Ooh, and we've got a lot to type in here. This is going to be our longest command, so it's probably the most complicated one. First, we want to give it a couple of tags. We know tags. Okay, give it 2 tags. 1, 2. It's going to be a health apple. And we're going to give it a tag of init, just so it knows that we should initialize this apple. We want to put scores on it, things like that. And then once we've done that, we'll remove the init tag. We want it to be an apple, so let's say item. You will need an ID, which will be Minecraft apple. We need a count, otherwise the count will be 0 and it won't be dropping anything. Count 1b. Okay, after count 1b, let's give it some name and a lore. Let's put that in it anyway. Okay, so that would come under tag. Then under tag it would come under display. Then under display it would come under name. That would be the name is going to go in there. And also law. Is going to go in there. Right, so that looks okay. Let's call it health.apple. And let's set the law to eat to gain the contained health levels. Full stop. Okay. Done. Let me set myself at a spawn point. How do you do that? Spawn point? I think so. Yep. Okay. And if I turn that on, let me kill myself. Let's see if this works. We don't need any of that junk in my inventory. Let's try kill myself. Respawn. Ah. Okay. Now, why is this happening? Because we're not resetting the death counter. So let's just turn that off. We'll reset the death counter later. So let's turn that off for now. Right, and now let's have a data get from an entity from myself. Selected item, display, law, and name. Okay, that looks all right. Let's have a look at it in the inventory. Oh, but the name and law haven't worked, so we've made a mistake there somewhere. Okay, so let's pop in and see what mistake we've made. Let's clear all of this. Well, I can see straight away what I've done. We've just written the text directly into those brackets. We haven't done, I'll delete it so you can see easier. We haven't done our old speech marks, colon, speech marks. Text. Health.apple. Okay. I won't type all this one again. I'll just put speech marks. That's not speech marks. I'll put speech marks there. Text. Done. Okay. Turn it on. Yeah. Turn it off. Our def hasn't been reset, so it's still giving them to us. Let's have a look at it. Health.apple. Eat to gain the contained health levels. Excellent. Okay. Clear. Next. We want to put our current health level onto that apple. So let's get a chain command. So we've died. So we'll execute as. Notice we're doing as this time, not just at. We also want the as. Any player whose scores equals, well, have I died? Yes, I've just died, equals 1 or higher. And then we'll do at s. So we're executing as ourselves and at ourselves. And we're going to store a result. Entity. What entity are we going to store the result on? Well, I'm going to store it on that apple. So type equals item. So let's say, that makes it nice and easy. We only have to check items. We're excluding all the mobs, so we won't bother checking any of them. Tag equals health.apple. Has to be a health.apple. Tag equals init. We have to be initializing the health.apple. And this is why we needed the at, because we have a distance equals less than 1. Still not working because you can only do one at a time, so we need a limit equals 1. Where are we going to store that? We are going to store it in an item, tag, health, add. Do you remember we made that objective, health.add? That's where we're storing this. It is of type short. We don't want to multiply, so we just put 1. We will run the scoreboard. Players, get, at s, that's me again, that's the person activating it, health.copy. Okay, done. And then I am going to tag any entity, type equals item, tag equals health.apple, tag equals init, remove init, we've initialized it, that's okay, done, and I am going to scoreboard players reset for all players death. Done. Okay. Now, we aren't actually setting up health copy yet. So this isn't going to add anything to it. But let's see what we get. So we've got one apple because, and now my death is reset, so we've only got one. And let's do a data selected item and see if it's got anything in there extra. Now we can see it has. We've got that tag there, health.add 0, because my health copy there was nothing in there. Okay, so we've got the tag. Great. Let's turn that back off. Now, we have the first batch of 20 commands, which are all going to be very, very similar. We are going to execute as. Oh, brain freeze. Let me remember. Execute as all players. They're going to have some scores. Scores equals, and we're going to check, have they taken damage? Damage.take equals 1 or higher. And health equals 1. Okay, then we will store the success as a score for that player. We'll store it on damage.take, run attribute at s Minecraft generic dot max health. My brain's running out. We want to affect its base level and we want to set it to 1. Okay. Home. Let's have a look at this command. So any player that has just taken damage of at least 1, so that's half a heart, and they have a health level of 1, we are going to store the success in damage.take. So if this run attribute command is successful, we'll put a 1 in there. If it's not successful, we'll put a 0 in there. At that player, we'll set their max health to 1. Now this is one of the first commands of 20, so copy it, control middle mouse, put it down again, and we're just going to go along and we're going to say, well, if their health equals 2, and jump to the end, set it to 2. Done. If their health equals, I think you can guess, 3, set it to 3. Done. Okay, so I'm going to need 20 of those. So let me just 3, control, copy middle mouse, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a long old command. Let's go back to the beginning here. So they're all going to say 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, this is my first one. I'll start doing this. I'll just be quiet and then I'll probably cut. Okay, there we go. That's that bit done. So we have, they're all the same, as I say. We've got our first lot of commands. Reset the death. Then, if health is 1, set base to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, blah, 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 blah. They're all the same until we get up to the end. If damage take is 1, health is 20, set max health to 20. Okay, now let's move on. That is our first lot of basically identical commands. Why we just can't put a variable in there, I don't know. We could do that with one command block then. Right, next. Let's turn the corner because we're going off the edge here. And let's actually get the health value. So let's execute as all players run scoreboard players operation at s, their health.copy needs to equal their health. So we're storing a copy of their health into health.copy. Remember, that's what we were going to use earlier on to set the Apple tag. So let's say done there. And let's pop another one down. We'll just go back down the row. And we will execute as all players scores equals used.apple equals 1 or higher. Has Apple a... We don't want to make a little mistake like that and have to go through the entire thing. Has Apple equals 1. So they've used an apple. They haven't done munch. They've just eaten it, and they have an apple. In the original commands, these were the other way around. Well, what I was finding is they were eating the apple, and therefore they then didn't have an apple. So I've just switched these around slightly from what Gal Sergi sent me. So what we're going to do, they've eaten the apple. We are going to run scoreboard players operation at that player health.copy plus equals health.add. Okay. But they haven't got a health.add yet. Okay, we're going to work that out. We will execute as all players scores equals has Apple equals 1, store result as a score for that player, health.add, run data get entity from S, so data, we're getting some data from the entity, from me or the person executing the command. What are we going to get? We're going to get it from their selected item, and since we've literally just eaten that apple, or are eating the apple, our selected item is the apple. .tag .health .add. Remember, that's where we stored the value. Done. Next one. Execute as all players. Actually, we don't need that. Execute as all players. Store success. So we're going to store a 0 or 1 as a score for the player. Has Apple, and this is where we're deciding, do they have the apple or not? Run clear from the player. Apple 0, but it has to be an apple that has a health tag which we've given it. So we're going to try and clear none of them. So if they've got one, we won't take it away, but that will generate a success. It'll say, oh, well done, you've cleared 1. They had 1, you've cleared 1. So that will set our has Apple score, which we then use next time it comes around the loop. Okay. Whew. Next lot of long commands. Execute. As any player scores equals, and we are going to be checking, have they used an apple equals 1. Okay, have they used an apple equals 1 higher? Well, that's fine. And health.copy, and remember that we've copied their health into the health.copy bit. Health.copy equals 2. We will run, and here we do the attribute bit again, run attribute for that player, Minecraft generic dot max health base set 2. Okay, let's say done on that one. Control middle mouse, put it down again, go to the beginning, execute. They've used an apple, but now their health equals 3. Base set 3. Base set 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you know what's coming now. I'm just going to get on and do that quietly, and will probably be a cut. So 3, 4, 5. Right, I'll be back within a minute. Okay, there we go. So we've got all the way from 2 to if used apple, health copy 20, and base set 20. Done. Okay, we've got a little bit left, Not much at all now. We've got one here where we are going to be giving an effect. So we will do effect give at, oh, whoops, press the wrong button. Effect give at all players scores equals which score? Used apple equals 1 or higher. So if they've used an apple, we've probably just given them a bit of health. And what we want to do now is make sure they don't lose that instantly. So we'll give them some instant health. 1 for 1 second, 100, and hide the particles. So if they eat the golden apple, they gain 2 max hearts from that. Bang, this instant health will top it up straight away. So when we go back through the loop, we don't instantly reset their max health back to what it was. Okay. We don't want to keep doing everything. So lastly, let's put here, home, delete that. Scoreboard players reset for all players used apple. Done. Now let's clear all that. Now I'm always a little bit scared when testing commands like this, because if there's a problem, where do we look? So there might be a cut in a minute as I go problem hunting. This is multiple cuts. We've never had a cut in this series before. There's multiple cuts in this one. So let's turn the controller on. Make sure we've got our objectives made. So if I die, let's switch to survival. Actually, let's get a piece of sand and a cactus. Hey, what are you doing? There we go. And let's put this down somewhere. Let's put it out the way in the floor there. Right, let's put a piece of sand and a cactus there. Let's clear that. Let's switch to survival. So I've got 20 hearts. Okay, so let's go down a bit to, I got 5 hearts. Bang, and they've gone. Okay, so the first bit's working. Our permanent health loss is working. So I've got 5 hearts, which should be 10 levels. Now, if I die, I should drop an apple. Oof, okay. There's the apple. Okay, my hearts have been reset because I've died. I'm the player. I've just been killed by someone because they want my apple. Here's the apple. Let's pick the apple up and let's do data get from entity myself, my selected item. Aha! We have tag health.add 10s. So we've saved the 5 hearts. Remember, it's 2 levels per heart. So we've saved the 5 hearts onto the apple. Let's go and lose some more health. Okay, I've got 3 hearts. If I eat this, I should get 10 levels. I should get 5 hearts, so I should be on 8 hearts. Oh, fingers crossed. But I can't eat it because I'm not hungry. Okay, we're going to need to do something about that. Let's game mode creative. I completely forgot I put that there just for situations like this. Put a button on. I don't need this sign, but I'd like to label everything anyway. Hunger. Effect. How do we do hunger? effect, give nearest player. Is it literally called hunger? It's called hunger. I don't know. 2 seconds, 125. Let's go back to game mode survive. Forget about these games. Let's press that. Jump around a bit. Ah, there we go. Oh, I didn't do much, did it? Oh, it's enough that we can eat the apple now. Okay, so we're on 3, and we should get 5 hearts. 10 levels, we should go up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it works. So, whew, there's a scary moment there. So when a player dies, they're going to drop an apple. Now, obviously, if you kill them little bit by little bit, like I said, you're not going to get much from them. If you kill them with a big drop, so a drop trap or something, you could get quite a bit of hearts from them. Or we could just give them an apple as well. So I keep forgetting these are here 3 times already. So let's do that. Let's go over here. Give apple. So we could have a reward system where players can get their own apple. Now you can put any extra information you want onto the apple, but all we really need for this to work is to give an apple, and we just need it to have a health value on it. So health, and we called it add. Let's put 2, so 1 heart, and it's a short. So that should give me an apple that will give me 1 heart. So let's go back here. We've got 8 at the moment. Let's get one of these. Okay, no one died. And if I munch this, bang, just give me 1 heart. Nice. Okay, so you've now got players can die and you can steal their hearts from them. And you can give player an apple with a little bit of health already put inside an apple. Maybe you can have loot crates lying around your map with little apples in like this that people can pick up just to get a little bit back now and then. Okay, we've made a little apple system. You can lose your health, and then you can gain it back by eating people's apples, or apples that you just get from loot crates and things like that. Okay, that's it for this episode. Next episode will be me doing a little bit of an update on this, and I will catch you then. Bye-bye.